What if everything you knew about your family, every memory, every story, wasn't the truth? Imagine growing up believing in a version of your life that was carefully constructed by the people you trusted most. When I was 10, my parents sat me down, their faces drawn and voices trembling. They told me my older brother Jake had died in a car accident. My mother's hands shook as she held mine, and my father stared at the floor. In that moment, my world shattered. The brother I'd idolized, who taught me to ride a bike and snuck me dessert, was suddenly gone. But there was no funeral, no obituary, no pictures of Jake on the mantle, no stories shared. It was as if he'd vanished, erased from our family's history. I asked questions, desperate for answers, but my parents always changed the subject or said it was too painful. The silence around Jake became a wall I couldn't climb. Years passed. I grew up with a constant ache, a sense that something was missing. Fast forward to last year. I'm 22, living on my own, trying to build a life and identity separate from the shadows of my childhood. I thought I'd made peace with the loss, but the questions never really left me. Then, one afternoon, my phone rang. The number was unfamiliar. I almost let it go to voicemail, but something made me answer. On the other end, a voice I hadn't heard in over a decade, older, deeper, but unmistakably Jake's, said, "Hey, it's me, don't hang up." My heart stopped. Was this some kind of cruel joke? But it was real. My brother was alive. He hadn't died. He'd run away. The truth spilled out. He'd left home after a terrible fight with our parents, and they'd decided it was easier to tell me he was dead than to explain. For 12 years, I'd mourned someone who was still out there. The first time I saw Jake again, I barely recognized him. We hugged for what felt like hours, both of us crying, laughing, trying to fill in the gaps of the years we'd lost. We talked about everything, his struggles, my confusion, the pain we both carried. Slowly, we began to rebuild our bond. But as Jake and I grew closer, I looked at my parents differently. Every conversation was tinged with suspicion. I wanted to understand why they lied, but I wasn't sure I could ever trust them again. The people who were supposed to protect me had chosen to protect themselves. Some people lose family to tragedy. I lost mine to lies. The grief is different, but just as real. The truth can heal, but it can also hurt. My family will never be the same, but I have my brother back, and that's a start.